For about 2 years now in our Finding Hope series, we've been committed to telling stories that break stigmas relating to mental health.
In this morning's Finding Hope, 6 on Your Side's Madeline White takes a look at how one prolific local author is inspiring readers not only to have empathy for others, but to fight to find that light again, no matter how dark life gets.
As though it was looking straight into heaven, into the eyes of loved ones, and into a place where there was nothing but light, a place where there were no monsters, no demons, only heroes, and only love.
It's hard to believe this is the final line in a novel written by an author responsible for books scary enough to make you scream.
I find horror to be the most potentially redemptive genre.
We can have these negative places. We can watch bad things happen to good people, because what are books but conflict?
But it is, and there's purpose for it.
The best horror stories show us that the characters, and by proxy the reader, can crawl out. They can make themselves better and find the light again.
And that's precisely the kind of story arc penned by multi-award-winning international best-selling author Michael Brent Collings.
Criminal can be caught. You know, the dragon can be slain.
That Troy Lambert says helped him through some dark bouts of depression.
Sometimes the dragon lives inside us.
After the deterioration of his marriage.
At that particular time in my life, I was not the hero of my own story.
But Lambert is not alone in those feelings.
What's interesting about creative people is a lot of them, they do have a dark side. They do tend to feel introverted and alone and isolated.
Boise-based novelist Collings says, like his characters, he's fought some demons of his own.
I have major depressive disorder and suicidal tendencies and psychotic breaks. And so, yeah, there's days where I get out of bed and everything's fine and I'm doing well. And there's days where sitting up is my big accomplishment that day. So, yeah, I want people to feel like just because they're having that terrible dark moment doesn't mean the story's over.
Professional novel editor Stacy Smikovsky says Collings' novel The Deep really helped her become more empathetic toward people.
When you are reading a book and if that book is well written, you can find yourself swept away into a whole new world and a whole new experience that you didn't and you wouldn't have normally. So you're in the head of a psychopath, you're in the head of a sister, you're in the head of a wooer who's trying to fall in love with the girl and a father, and he does that. He helps us see that there's another perspective out there and there's another person that feels this way about something.
And it's that same kind of empathy that at times Collings says he's learned to direct inwards to give himself the fighting chance to get through those rough days and continue building on his prolific body of work.
Too many people think of writing as typing. Unless I'm actually typing today, I'm not really writing. And I realized some time ago that going to a movie is writing, as long as I'm sitting there going, how would I do this better? How would I do it differently? So I'm analyzing story beats, or I'm talking to people and kind of mining them for content, because I have never met anybody in my life who didn't have a fantastic story.
A fantastic story that these Collings fans say matters.
If somebody has that feeling that they're in a dark place, they need to know that they're not alone. That's the number one thing, and that their voice is important, that their perspective is important, that their words and their experiences mean something to somebody.
There's a way to crawl out of the hole. There is a way the monster can be defeated.
Because as Collings has shown himself time and again, there is hope, always.
And so whether everybody dies in my book or whether there's this triumphant hero moment, I hope they do close it and go, that wasn't me, this is me, and I will continue my story today.
Madeline White, 6 on Your Side.